This video is now in session, and in today's video, we're going to look at the Indiana redistricting that is going on. So they are one of the states that have proposed a map for redistricting, and they currently have 9 districts. They are not set to lose any district between the last decade and this decade, and their deadline for enacting a map is on November 21st. November 15th, 2021, or at least, no, it should be January 5th, 2022 is the deadline that a congressional map has to be passed, because that is when candidates can begin filing for congressional runs, which means that the maps need to be ready by then. So there has been one map that has been proposed by the Republican Party, and in this map, we see not much of a change. There are 9 Republican districts and 2 Democratic districts. It stays the same as last time. So why is it 9-2? If we look at the presidential election, Joe Biden won by 41%. Not won, lost by 41%. No, lost by 16%. He got 41% of the vote, and then Donald Trump got 57% of the vote. So, if we were going based off of proportionally partisan districts, there would be either 3 Democratic districts or 3 Democratic districts and 1 competitive district, or 4 Democratic districts in Indiana. But Republicans control all parts of the Indiana redistricting process, which is managed by the state legislature and approved by the governor. The state legislature has Republicans in the majority for both the state house and state senate, and then for the governor's mansion, that is held by a Republican. So, for the Republican Party, they can gerrymander as much as they want. In fact, the Democrats should actually be pretty happy with this map, even though the Democrats are not anywhere near like the proportionally partisan map that they should be getting, that should apply to every single state. Nonetheless, there was talks that Republicans could remove 1 of the Democratic districts or even 2 of the Democratic districts. So if we look at this map, you can see that this district right here, Indiana's 1st district, is held by Frank Mervyn, and his seat has a partisan lean of D+7. You can see here that it has stayed the same since the old map, and this is the seat that Democrats were most fearful of, because the Republicans could have easily put Indiana's 1st district, and it could have been easily been made so that it cracks Gary along with Indiana's 4th district. You can see here that Indiana's 2nd district R plus 26, here R plus 33. So you could easily see a scenario where the first district goes out here, goes over here, and then goes through this district right here, and then the 2nd district goes a little bit into Gary, and then the 4th district takes the rest of Gary. You could see that scenario happening, and if that scenario happened, then Indiana's 1st district would definitely be Republican. But Frank Mervyn is probably pretty happy with this map, because it does not do that, because the Republicans for some reason have spared Frank Mervyn of removing Indiana's 1st district from the Democratic Party. Now, why is this happening? Maybe the Republicans are just trying to be extra safe, because they know that a court challenge could come if anything substantial changes, and there will most likely be court challenges occurring, but this mainly maintains the status quo in terms of the map in the redistricting. And if the court has failed to kind of say this map is wrong, or I guess the old map was wrong, then they're not going to really say this new map is wrong, because there really isn't that much of a change in terms of partisanship. The only thing that's really changed is Indiana's 5th district. So back then, this district was competitive. In the 2020 election, it was a competitive House seat, and if we look at the results of that district, you can see that Victoria Spartz, who is the Republican who won that district, won by around 5%, by 4.1 percentage points against Christina Hale. So it's a pretty close margin, and the main goal for the Republicans was to shore up this seat, was to make the seat a little bit more rural so that it wouldn't be super competitive. So in this new map, Indiana's 5th district, it doesn't go as much into Indianapolis compared to the previous map, and it actually becomes a little bit more compact, but it becomes more rural. So now this new district is R plus 22, meaning that Victoria Sparks will almost definitely win that district. In Indianapolis, with the 7th district, it becomes more democratic. It goes from D plus 23 to D plus 37. So it's packing this district, and then you can see here Indiana's 1st district, D plus 7. So this is the map at play for the Republicans in Indiana. Democrats are criticizing this map, and they have all the rights to criticize this map because it does not really follow the partisan proportions of the state. But they should be pretty happy. If they would, for pragmatic Democrats, they should be pretty happy because the Republicans could have done much worse. According to Dave Wasserman, he could have created a scenario where he was able to create a scenario where Frank Mervyn, his seat becomes much more Republican. 538 came up with a map where every single district in Indiana is Republican. You can see all 9 of them are Republican, including Indiana's 1st district and Indiana's 5th and 4th district. And this is mainly because Indianapolis is cracked into 3 districts, 5th, 7th, and 4th, and then Gary is cracked into 2 districts. So this allows Republicans to get every single district possible. Now, this map is not would most likely not get approved because it obviously is a gerrymander, since Democrats should at least be getting 1 or 2 seats in the congressional map, but this is a scenario that Republicans could have done. Now, if we're looking at match towards a partisan breakdown, you can see that there are 4 competitive districts. 1, 2, 3, and 4 of those districts would lean for the Democratic Party. And this is pretty close to a Democratic gerrymander, which would have around 3 to 4 districts. You can see here that this district would be competitive, but you would have 3 pretty solid Democratic districts. So that's the state of play at Iowa. The fact that Republicans didn't gerrymander Indiana's 1st district, the fact that Republicans in Indiana didn't go too far with redistricting should give a little bit of solace to the Democratic Party. And it's a reflection of what Republicans are doing nationwide, which is that even though Republicans could go very far with gerrymandering, they are not going as far as they could within the realm of being legal. So that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. This video is now adjourned, and I'll see you in the next one.